So welcome everybody. Today we are on 24th January on mindfulness book reading session and trying or testing the waters right there. So it's not a promotion of the book. We are reading the book Silence by Thich Nhat Hanh or Thich Nhat Hanh. It's not a promotion of the book. It's not promotion of the philosophy. We stay skeptical all the way and test the waters on our own. So with that, I think let's start with first 1 minute to arrive fully to the session. And what we are going to do is do our breathing exercise to come to the session fully with three things in our mind. One is that I am here, which means I am fully here, physically, mentally. I am free, at least in the now. I tell myself that I'm completely free of my past and my future worries. And then I hear you, which means I listen to my heart, not anybody else, right? So let's start with that 1 minute of sit comfortably, have deep breath out, and we get started. So I'm here, physically, mentally, I'm here. I am free from the worries of the past and anxieties of the future. And I hear you. And then we slowly open our eyes and come back to the session fully. And with that, be aware of the space in which you are sitting, the room, the air around you, and also be aware of the space inside your head. And try to keep that awareness of the space while breathing during the entire session today. Okay. So we start with a small reading from last time again. As we discussed, the author says that we are what we feel and perceive. That's a very important point to start understanding what he says next. So we are what we feel and perceive. So psychologically, whatever we perceive and feel physically and emotionally is what we are. If we are angry, we are the anger, right? If we are in love, we are love, not love for somebody or love to somebody. There is just love. If we look at the snowy mountain peak, we are the mountain. And while dreaming, we are the dream. So I think the first line and the last line maybe converges to what he's trying to say, that whatever we feel and perceive, we are that, because without feeling and perceiving, there is no other tool to see the outside world. And especially what he says is, while dreaming, we are the dream, right? So in the dream, whatever I see, there is no other reality. It is completely us, our thoughts that get manifested. And that is what he tells in real life then, is whatever we feel and perceive, be it anger, be it love, be it jealousy, be it anything, eventually we are that, because that is psychologically, that is what we experience. It's in us, we manifest it, right? So that is where he is trying to maybe tell that that is what we are, right? So of course we are not the mountain. Physically, no, we are not the mountain, right? But when we see the mountain and perceive the mountain, it's our perception. And that's why whatever mountain is for you, you are that. Right? It's your thoughts. You are made up of your thoughts, eventually, is what he's trying to tell, maybe. But we continue today with the next nutriment, which is volition. So volition, our primary intention and motivation, is the third kind of nutriment. It feeds us and gives us purpose. So much of the noise around us, whether advertisements, movies, games, music, or conversation, gives us message about what we should be doing, what we should look like, what success looks like, and who we should be. Read that sentence again. For me, it's very powerful. There's so much noise around us, whether advertisement, movies, games, music, or even conversations. This conversation, right, gives us a message about what we should be doing, what we should look like, what success looks like, right, and who we should be. All of these noises tell us all of this. So whatever is, and maybe I go a little tangential, there is a guy who tells them that's why we become second-hand human beings, right? I mean, is there anything or original about us that we have not heard or not been influenced by any of the noise outside, right? Because of all of this noise, it is rare that we pay attention to our true desire. We act, but we don't have space or quiet to act with intention. Do we have quiet and space to listen with intention as of now, or are we already thinking? And while we are, oh, this is right, this is wrong, no, this, and all the questions, right? Mm-hmm. We act, but we don't have space or quiet to act with intention. When I eat, the intention is to eat, right? If we don't have any purpose feeding us, we are just drifting. There are certain people whom I see only once a year. When I ask them what they have done in the past year, many can't even remember. Sometimes for most of us, days, whole weeks, or even months go like in a fog. They just pass away in a fog. This is because we are not aware of our intentions on those days. Sometimes it seems the only intention in us is just to make it through the day. Whenever we act, whether to walk to a store, call a friend, take a step, or go to work, we have intention or motivation that gets us moving. Whether we realize it or not, there is always a motivation. There's a volition that actually is needed for you to do things. Time goes by very quickly. One day, we may be surprised to discover our life is nearing its end and we don't know what we have done with all the time we have lived. Maybe we have wasted entire days in anger, fury, and jealousy. We rarely offer ourselves the time and space to consider, am I doing what I most want to do with my life? Do I even know what that is? Right? That is building on what we discussed last time. Am I doing what I most want to do with my life? And do I even know what I want from my life? The noise in our heads and all around us drowns out the still small voice inside us. What he's telling is there is some still, which is constant, small voice inside us. It just drowns away. We are not able to hear it. We are so busy doing something that we rarely take a moment to look deeply and check in with our deepest desires. Volition is a tremendous source of energy, but not all volition comes from heart. If your volition is only to make enormous amounts of money or to have biggest numbers of Twitter, YouTube followers, that may not lead you to a satisfying life. Many people who have a lot of money and power are not happy. They feel quite lonely. They don't have time to live their lives authentically. Nobody understands them and they don't understand anyone. Then the author changes the font and we stop there. To fully experience this life as a human being, we all need to connect with our desire to realize something larger than our individual selves. Pay attention to this. To fully experience this life as a human being, we all need to connect with our desire to realize something larger than our individual selves. This can be motivation enough to change our ways so we can find relief from the noise that fills up our heads. Right? I think we will stop here. There is some part still of volition, but we can take that up and then continue into individual consciousness next time. But anybody, any thought that comes across when you heard that entire thing on volition? Yes,
yes. The thing that most came to my mind was a lot of people just go through life in automatic pilot.
Yes.
Without ever really questioning themselves, things like that. Am I really doing what I want to do with my life?
Yes.
What do I want to do with my life? Am I really doing it? And they just go by day by day.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And it
Am I
also
doing what I most want to do with my life? And do I even know what that is?
Exactly. And it's true. I mean, how many people? And then, of course, when time goes by and they're closer to death, that's when they start to question themselves. Okay,
What
what
did I do with my life? Yeah.
and then you have the typical midlife crisis. People 40, 50 years old saying, is this what I want with my life? But that's even the people who late, but actually do question themselves. There are people who don't even question themselves.
Yes. 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 Any other comments from anybody on what you heard today?
So how I could relate to that part of the thing that author said, and to add on to Alessandra's point, I might not be aware of, I still don't think what have I done with my life. But again, I could think of days when I am doing this mundane, monotonous routine job, and then the day seems pretty big. But then if I try to look at the month as a whole, the past month, then I think it just went by like this, and I couldn't remember anything. On the other hand, if I have done something interesting, something that I like, something that I want to pursue, or maybe, yeah, something that I like, the day passes like this very quickly. And then when I look back, it seems like I have lived a year in a month.
Fulfilling year in a month. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, way of putting at it. Yeah. It's such ironical, the two sides of the things that you said. When the tough times are there, the day doesn't pass, but the month and the year is gone and you don't even remember what happened eventually. And when you're living it fully, right, it's exactly the other way around. It goes so fast, but when you look back, you feel like you lived it.
Yes.
Right? You lived it fully. Yeah. 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 That's a nice observation there.
Uh, I have like one point to make here. So, like when we are not aware of what we really want to do, lot of our actions are actually driven by the surrounding around us,
Yes.
rather than we taking the next step.
Yes.
So the however we want to go in that right direction of following our passion or dream, it is just going the opposite way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that
that's
is
what,
one of
yeah.
the concern.
Yeah, exactly. So what you said, right? If I read back that sentence, so much of noise around us, whether advertisement, movies, games, movies, or music or conversation, give us a message about what we should be doing, what we should look like, what success look like, and who we should be, right? If you're not aware, you just go in that autopilot of what surrounding is telling you to do, right? Everybody is telling you to become a clown, and you're becoming a clown, right? I mean, yeah. Well, that's a nice thing. That's a nice thing, Naman, what you put. Okay, I think if anything, Ekta, you want to add? Rashmi, you want to add anything? No, Ekta, you are on mute.
Yes, yeah. I'm really sorry. I had to. There was someone at the door, and I had to. Yeah, so I missed half of the. But yeah, I could understand. I followed something in the discussion, but yeah, I missed. I missed.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Okay, so then I think let's enter our 5 minutes. And today we, like last time, try to connect to our intent, but we try not to do what we did last time by thinking about the intent. The only way, the way it can reveal, or the way we can hear that still constant sound of our heart, is to be quiet. That's the only way we can go towards it. So which means if you have thoughts, don't try to control them, just look at them. And what we I mean, it's very funny to tell look at them. I mean, it's a nobody can teach anybody how to look, right? So it's a question whose answer you will not think, but you will try to listen as if there is somebody is going to speak from your heart on it, right? So listening rather than thinking about the question, right? Is what we try to do again. So let's again go for 5 minutes. Find a comfortable position. I will guide a little bit in the beginning, and then but feel free to ignore me. Don't get into thinking because Jamin is trying to say something, right? Go into the silence, see what is happening. Yeah. So exhale, a deep exhale, and we start. So breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, my thoughts become quieter. Breathing out, my hearing becomes attentive. Breathing in, I watch my intentions. Breathing out, I hear my intentions. If there are any thoughts that come, I gently bring my attention to my breath. I slowly try to open my eyes and come back to the session fully. If you need to stretch, you see the space around, you look at the things around, you look at the people on the screen, see if there is some newness, some freshness. Don't fool ourselves, it is. See if it is there. How does it feel?
I had a little bit of trouble quieting the monkeys. And I was trying to give them a big banana, but we're too cooperative today. But I do feel more relaxed though. Once I could quiet them down a bit.
Yes. Look at it once, what you speak out loudly, right? For example, I could quiet them. So you are who are the monkeys, and then who are you? Right? Try to look at it. Anybody else? Anything? How does it feel?
Yeah, it felt relaxed, but yes, for me today, yeah, probably since I was not there all the time, so there were a lot of thoughts. I mean, yeah, but I was getting my concentration back to the breath. But yes, so maybe, yeah, for example, it was all around the conversation I just had with, I mean, the doorbell had rang and all that. So again, so those thoughts, they kept coming up. But yes, I was just trying to again concentrate on the breath.
Anybody else?
Um, for me, I think not many thoughts were coming, but just that one thought, like, am I really doing what I would have like loved to follow as my career passion, or am I doing all those things in that direction? Like that question will come, but somehow we just tend to ignore that. So that was the only thought which was coming.
And it's a choice, right? To whether to ignore it or not, we make that choice. Nobody forces us. So it's up to us eventually.
Yeah.
Rashmi, how was the monkey mind?
I had too many distractions. So yeah, but I tried to just the thoughts flow, so that I didn't try to think more about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were there.
Yeah.
And I felt that it was too long, 5 minutes. So
5 minutes was long. And it's interesting how we put it, right? We should listen to ourselves. Always I say, I didn't try to think about the thoughts. Yes, it's a nice way of looking at things. Piyush?
Today it was better. I didn't think about the intent, as in why am I here? But then there were other thoughts. There were some thoughts related to some other things, and I was able to push them to the side, like keep them at the back. Okay, not now, not now.
Not now.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that way feeling a little better.
Yeah. I know that some of you had a hard stop at 8 o'clock, but if you allow 5 more minutes today, right? And feel free to drop out, whoever wants to drop out. But if you allow 5 more minutes today, I think we have been discussing this for a long time, and I want to test the waters. It's fair to say that all of us have sources of disturbance as of now. Even in the now, we have thought sources of disturbance. It could be music playing outside, daughter running into the room, thoughts, monkey mind, Alessandra, a lot of other thoughts playing trick. Piyush thinking about something, Naman thinking about career. It's fair to say that we all have certain disturbances. And if you remember in the book, we had read that when they set in the village, suddenly there were airplanes who had changed their path and they were flying over their meditation center. So they were always getting disturbed. But what they did then is they changed the entire approach of saying, okay, let's treat this airplane, the disturbance, as a reminder to come back to the breath. So let me use this disturbance as a reminder. Whenever that disturbance happens, it actually reminds you, oh, I need to focus on my breath. Let me follow one breath. And if there is disturbance, oh, this is a reminder. Let me follow that next one breath. Right? And let's use disturbance as a bell to come back to home, which is our heart, via the breath. Let's see if it works. Is it even possible to use disturbance as a source of calming ourselves down? Is it even possible? I would want to be skeptical and challenge that. So if you are all okay, let's just do it right away. Let's go for it. 5 more minutes and then we wind up the session. Let's invite all our disturbances that we have today as a reminder to come back to our breath and follow that one full breath as soon as we get disturbed. Right? Let's do that right away. And then Jamin is not going to speak much. We just do the whole 5 minutes, each of us on our own, inviting our disturbance as a reminder. So let's exhale as much as we can, find a comfortable position, and we get into the silence. slowly open our eyes. Stretch if needed. Feel the space that you are in. In one word, if I ask you to now tell how are you feeling now, what would that one word be?
Better.
Thank you, Sandra.
I don't want to think about that word.
Okay. Rashmi?
Different.
Different.
I felt good, at least. Okay, I know about my concerns. Okay, these are all the things together.
Ekta?
Yeah, I said happy.
Piyush, don't want to think about it.
Too
Quite.
much effort.
Quite. Too much effort to try and think now. So thank you everybody for sharing this silence and space. Take that with you because that's the only reality, right? Everything else is just a noise. So thank you everyone. And maybe I see all of you again next Sunday, same time.
You describe yours also, Japan. One word.
Tasty. I always say that it has some tangible tastiness to this silence. So it's very tasty for me. Very tasty for me. But thank you for asking that, Ekta. Okay, then everybody, see you. Bye bye. We will
Thank
meet up
you
next
all.
Sunday. Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.